Hello everybody, this is David again. I know you're probably wondering why am I wearing this colobium, which is basically like a tunic that they wore in biblical times. But if you look at this graphic behind me, you can see that it says the rise of the Fourth Reich. And the point of this video today is to kind of explain to all of you watching about what is the Third Reich. What is it about? I mean, who are they and what is it actually relating to as far as future events? If anybody has studied the videos on my channel, you'll see that I've done some relating to the perception that the New World Order is going to instigate a unisex uniform, very much like what I'm wearing. This is a colobium. In ancient times, you had several different societies all pretty much wearing the same clothes. The Greeks, the Romans, even the Italians all wore pretty much a very simple type of clothing like this. This is not a toga, because you know a toga would wrap across your shoulder. But if you're wanting the philosophy of the socialists, which is everybody is the same, then everybody should dress the same too, because that's the part of the philosophy of a utopia, a philosophy that everybody is the same, so everybody should be the same in the way that they look. I did bring that out in my videos about children eventually will all be required to wear a unisex uniform, and it won't probably just relate to school, it'll be everyday life. And you laugh, but the reason why the rise of the Third or the Fourth Reich is happening is because the Democrats have shown it now since Trump was elected that there is still a very predominant communistic viewpoint of totalitarianism, a philosophy that this country, the world, is now a part of a global world order. And Obama himself said it during the time he was president. That's why he philosophically wants socialism. That's why he kept pushing it. This is the philosophy of not only communism in this country, but it's also that the global world order has to control all of the different nations by first taking away their sovereignty, second, controlling them by what they permit them to wear, what they believe, how they live their lives. His healthcare reform was totally obliterated by the Democrats. Why? The Democrats represent the Socialist Party in this country. They actually still control it, even though Obama is no longer president. But I have to contend that even if he's not physically in the White House, it does not mean that he still isn't in control of this country. He is very much still planning and instigating whatever is the next stage in this new world order program that they're starting in the world. And you can laugh all you want to, but what I'm wearing is a symbol of the philosophy of the New World Order. You're going to accept them, you're going to do whatever they tell you to, because the Democrats continually do this through their harassing, bashing, retaliation against Trump's intentions to try to get the country back to where it used to be. People are complaining that Obamacare is the only option because Obama instigated it, that he pushed it. I have to say this, people forget the fact when Obamacare was signed, most if not all of those people in Congress and the Senate who voted for it, they're not there anymore, because the country said afterwards, y'all made a totally screwed up decision about this. Nancy Pelosi and several others in the Democrats were saying over and over again, you sign this bill and we'll tell you what's in it after. And that's why most of them gave in. That's why they accepted what Obama said. It isn't just because he lied to get them to sign the bill. It's more about Obama being a socialist, being what he was, a dictator, telling people this is what's going to happen because I'm telling you this is what's going to happen and you're going to accept it, no questions asked. And now after 8 years, he physically is not there, but you can feel him and his presence by how the Democrats constantly are doing this. more and more to the American people. That if they don't like what Trump is trying to do, they retaliate. They say, you're not going to do this anymore because we're not going to let you do this anymore. So when Trump threw in the towel and said, okay, I guess healthcare is not going to work, it isn't that he's saying Obamacare is the best option. He wasn't even trying to say that. He's saying the Democrats crammed it down our throats when Obama signed it. The Democrats are now saying there's no choice in the matter except to accept what Obama kept saying to about the Obamacare, which is accept whatever price you have to pay, give up your doctors, whoever they are, and accept it and go on. And now they feel like, look at us, we just got rid of Obamacare. I mean, we've kept it on the books by destroying what Trump was trying to do. This is not a good thing when you think it isn't changing how much you're paying for your health insurance. It's not changing the philosophy that the Democrats have been showing for 3 months about it's their way or the highway, which is what Obama said during his 8 years. And now we've got a total shambles of government because the Democrats have a power that seems to be higher even than the U.S. government itself to mandate and instigate these kinds of harassment things against Trump. And I will say this to everybody watching. The inevitable next stage is that countries that do not confer or go with what the New World Order wants, and Great Britain is a definite hit. They got out of the EU. Well, the New World Order is going to probably say, we're going to have to take out those countries that don't want to surrender their sovereignty as a nation. And the people of England said, no, we don't want to be a part of the EU because it's killing us financially. We can't afford to keep paying into it. And that's another reason for my video today about the rise of the Fourth Reich. And I want to get into this very, very generalized. Jim Marrs is a guy that wrote a book, and it's actually based on rise of the Fourth Reich. And the contention is this: when the Nazis lost the war in Germany, all of them, and most of them actually disappeared. They could not find them. Some people went to Argentina, which is where they said they sought asylum so that they couldn't be prosecuted. But a lot of the other ones took the philosophies that Adolf Hitler started under his totalitarian socialism, the National Socialist Party. Well, it's very evident today that in America it definitely has ties to the Nazis. The Nazis instigated the philosophy that socialism and communism works, because Obama said over and over again after he became president, I'm a socialist, I'm proud to be a socialist, I'm going to force you to accept socialism. Socialism, folks, is communism. Communism is something that people now laugh at and think, oh, well, that's old school. Communism is very real because it's right now in America. Well, anyway, getting back to the Nazis went to most civilized nations in the world. Europe, America, Australia. I would say Russia didn't need it because they already had communism. They already had socialism even then. And now that philosophy that the Nazis instigated in these economic nations where they were very much growing economically, they were very, very what I call open-minded to philosophy change. America definitely accepted it, even though in the 50s you didn't hear about it. But if you watch old films, newsreels, it stated that even then there was an American Communist Party already in America. And now, 60, 70, 80 years later, it's all come to fruition, and it's all a part of this New World Order that Obama talked about during the time he was president. It's here. You can't change it. You can't get away from it because it's very much a real event, and it's happening, and accept it. That's what he kept telling everybody. Accept it. Get over your viewpoints that we must still be a sovereign nation. We must still have our freedoms and our laws. And I would say, broad view, the Islamic terror viewpoint, all of it was instigated probably by the New World Order too. You got individual groups, and you've heard of them before: Illuminati, CERN, You've heard of the Bilderberg group and all these other groups that supposedly have financial backing that control all the global financial systems. All of it's all a part of this one organization, and it's called the New World Order. The New World Order says we're not going to just control individual countries, we're going to make all of them a part of one global government. And that means your sovereignty, and this includes Canada, it includes Mexico, it includes every nation on earth who is right now considered a sovereign country. It'll be obliterated. It's going to be changed. They're going to say you cannot be sovereign because we're not going to let you be sovereign. You have to be a part of the global system. And I have a video on my channel. Not too many people watched it. I guess it's because it's so obvious. It's called GAL 666. That stands for Global Authentication Label, and that means what everybody's been hearing about. It's going to be on your forehead, it's going to be on your hand. And why did I say GAL? Well, who is it that is predominantly shown in movies, on television, in the news? Who is the predominant gender of this nation, of the world today? Women. Women are shoved in our faces. They're the only ones that matter. They're the only ones that are talked about. They're the only ones that are pushed as the dominant gender in the equation of the world scene. And what perfect way could there be to say in a gradual statement, if you're going to get a label, it should be called something like gal or some reference to women. It may not be so obvious to say 666 because everybody knows that represents the Antichrist. The Antichrist represents the New World Order. Whoever he is, and it's not going to be a woman, I can promise you that. It is not going to be a woman, thank goodness. It's going to be a man, and we don't know who he's going to be, although some people are saying that the Antichrist will most likely be half Jewish and half some other nation. That's why most people are singling out Obama, because he's a socialist. We don't know very much about his past, except that he's been saying over and over again, I'm the hope for the world, I'm the one that's going to help bring the nation together and keep the nation from destroying itself and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, he's not there, but he's probably right behind this scene right here. He's somewhere, and he's watching, and he's waiting. And people can laugh about my perception that Obama is going to create his own little private kingdom, his own personal little place to go. And I make reference to that in the new Cuba Republic, what it was California. He may not actually do that through California. He may say, basically, if I'm your dictator and I'm your Messiah, and a lot of people said he was the Messiah during the time. Barbara Walters said he was the Messiah. Everybody saw that during his inauguration in 2008. And then you look at the contrast between then and today. Oh my gosh, man. I mean, it's so totally opposite of what it was, because people idolized him. They still idolized Obama. They still idolize him today. That's why they don't want anybody else in the White House other than either Hillary Clinton or Obama himself to be president. And when Hillary Clinton lost the election, thank goodness, you had this, not hatred, but just an absolute conniption by the women of the United States, of the world, saying, if we can't have Hillary, we want Obama back in there, and we don't want him to ever leave again. And that was the philosophy people kept saying over and over again. That's what the rise of the New World Order is about, the Fourth Reich. That Obama himself is going to instigate it. It's going to be him telling the American people, it's here, and I'm going to control it, and I'm going to run it. And if you don't like it, too bad. But completing this video, I want to say this. You can laugh at what I'm wearing. This is a collobium. But if they're going to control the world, then they have to create this euphoria, this viewpoint that everything about America must be what Obama kept saying it would be. It would be perfect. It would be international peace and unity and conformity. And that's what socialism is.